Depression makes me feel lost. Like you're adrift and alone. You feel disconnected from from other people, you feel disconnected from your life, but you feel disconnected from yourself as well. It's a strange sensation where you sort of are aware that you're on this planet and you're aware that you're walking and talking if you can and moving around, but you don't feel connected to yourself, you don't feel connected to your environment. And I think for me, that's when being outside makes the difference, because I feel a connection there, a much more physical connection, which translates then to feeling more emotionally connected with myself. It's affected all my life.
I didn't have any peas. Yeah. I saw one rolling in your direction across the tabletop. I didn't eat it. Yeah, well, it wasn't mine. Yeah. Spilt in somebody else's plate.
Friends from university, you have to actively protect your dinner.
Growing up with a dad that was never around because he was in the military, so he was constantly backwards and forwards and here and there, and it affected my mum quite deeply, which affected me quite deeply. By my teenage years, I was suffering from really severe anxiety, and that progressed to full-blown depression, I would say, when I was about 17. Improved slightly in my first year at uni and then got worse again. I took a year off afterwards and got well, and then I was free from it till I had my first child, and then postnatal depression hit. Depression is not sadness. It's something that creeps up on you. The world becomes very grey, the colour drains out. Everything shuts down. Your world becomes very, very small, until the point where your world is just your mind. Being stuck within the four walls is something that I really associate, I suppose, with claustrophobia and wanting to get away. My childhood wasn't that great, my home life wasn't that great, and when I look back on when I was younger, I think the happy memories that I have are all of me being outside. I really, really struggle to think of any sort of memories inside. I just don't seem to have them. I don't have memories of being inside, or the memories I do have of being inside are not happy ones. I think on some level I've made a connection between being outside and being free and being myself. I've always used walking as a way of as a way of... Sorry, my brain stopped working then. It would be good to keep that in because that shows what depression does.
Yeah.
Noticing you're unwell can be difficult. When I was a teenager, I wouldn't have noticed that I was suffering from depression, and nobody around me told me I was suffering from depression, or even thought that I might be, or even had any idea that teenagers could suffer from depression. There was an aspect of me growing up in the 70s and 80s where perhaps that wasn't a thing, but also I think that's the nature of my family around me, that's not something they would have picked up on. And so it's taken me until I was much older, and certainly my first bout of depression as an adult after I had my first child, it took me a little while to notice, and I think what I noticed was that I just was not enjoying life. I was just staying in a very small world that wasn't interactive with other people. I remember I was in the kitchen and I opened a cupboard door and I went to get something out the cupboard, but then I didn't know why I'd opened the cupboard door, and I didn't know why I was getting something out the cupboard or what I was looking for or why I was in the kitchen. And it was really difficult because I suddenly realised that I didn't know what I was doing, why I was doing it, and my brain had slowed to such a point that I just couldn't function. And I found that really hard because I've always thought of myself as a kind of intelligent person who's a very capable person, and I couldn't think. It's not that my future is scary. It's not that my future is a sort of place, a foreign place I don't want to go. It's that I have had the best time of my life having my children, having my family, and they're all at an age now where they're all leaving or about to leave, moving on, and that's the right thing for them. And I think that's what you learn as a parent, is that it's all about saying sort of mini periods of grief almost, and that's not the same as depression at all. It's not, the two things aren't the same. So the future is tricky for me because they're not going to be around as much, and so I've got to find a way of making my own future just me. I'm not sure what that looks like, but it will hopefully involve me exploring a lot more